tribute by the siblings. And when these fallen lives grow now, when mind and memory flee, when thou shalt in thy kingdom come, Jesus, remember me. I read from MHB 763, verse 3. My name is Fred, and I'll be representing the siblings. It was with heavy heart that we learned of your dismiss on September the 17th, 2020. Indeed, we took it hard. We were totally devastated, and we wondered why death could be so unfair to us. However, we took consolation from the fact that God giveth and taketh at his will. You are no more with us, yet we shall forever miss your welcoming sense of humor, your kind-heartedness, and your welcoming smiles you always exhibited. We love you, but God loves you better. And we know that he will find a resting place for you in the bosom of Abraham, till we all meet again before the throne of God. Mamikwa, your siblings, Sarah, Stephen, Elizabeth, and Mariam, Mawudeye, Nyame Fawunsiye. Amen.
Give Fred a big round of applause.
Good evening.
This is Hilda.
I'm Hilda Quarshie. Auntie Grace was my sister-in-law. I married her brother. We were in the Gambia, and we came to visit. We came for a visit in Ghana. We went to Obuasi to visit my husband's family. When we got there, I got to know all the family members. And we went to Auntie Grace's house. We met her, the husband, and the children. And that night, my husband and I and my children, we spent the night with their family in their house. When we left, went back to the Gambia, I didn't see her again. I came here 2000. My husband joined me in 2005. When he came, then he said, I normally called her Auntie Grace, but she called me Auntie C because I'm Sunday born. So he told me Auntie Grace is here at Minneapolis babysitting her grandchildren. I said, that is good. Maybe one day we will visit them. And most of the time, she talked with the brother. If I'm around, I will just pick up the phone and say hello. But Auntie Grace was telling me she wants to come to New Jersey and work. And I said, what about your grandchildren? They said, now they are old enough. I never gave her any go-ahead. But in 2014, my husband was seriously sick. I needed help because my husband was the only family I had in this country. Our children are back home. I had no choice. I called Auntie Grace and I said, Auntie Grace, I need help. Your brother is sick. Can you please come down and help me? Auntie Grace said, I'm coming. Within a week time, Auntie Grace was in New Jersey. I was so happy that at least I've got somebody with me to help me to take care of my husband. Unfortunately, my husband passed away. And the only family I had was Auntie Grace. I had nobody. So I asked her, I was sitting there looking into her eyes and asked her, can you please stay with me here because I have nobody? In fact, Auntie Grace helped me financially, emotionally, physically, in prayers, everything. She was there for me. Through her, I got to know many people from Obuasi, and up to now, I'm friends with them. They call me to check on me. And she was the only family I had. I had nobody. So when Auntie Grace fell sick, I thought it was just an ordinary sickness. In fact, it was the allergy season, so I was always telling her to take allergy pills because she was at work. And I used to call her and find out how she is doing. She was coughing. I said, take some cough mixture. She said, I have been taking the medicine. I said, okay, you will be okay. And unfortunately, we were in this virus season, you can't go anywhere. Once in a while, I will call. So one day I was there when Mrs. Amos called me and said, your in-law is seriously sick and I have called Terry. Terry is coming down. And I said, is that serious? He said, yes. And I was very, very worried. So when Terry came, I called and she explained everything to me. I said, really? Okay, I have to calm down. I have to fight hard. I came down because I want to see her before she takes Auntie Grace away. And I was very, very sorry when she was taking her away because I could not take off Auntie Grace. And when Auntie Grace was leaving New Jersey, because of me, she came to New Jersey. I told her I will come to Minneapolis here in October to come and visit you. You cook, she likes cooking. She likes dancing, she likes singing. So I'll come, you cook, and we normally have a name for wine. Then we drink our wine. Then he said, okay, I'm waiting. I said, I will come. So on that fateful 17, when Terry called me and said, my mom has passed away, I said, is it really true? Can Auntie Grace just die like that? I put the phone down and I sat on my bed and I said, did I hear what she said? Is it true that Auntie Grace is dead? What is really going on? My husband is dead. The only family I have is also dead. Where am I now? Where do I go now? Auntie Grace, I was coming here to have fun with you, not this. I was coming here so that you can cook. Do you like cooking? I only eat. I was coming here to drink and eat with you and have fun and maybe take you back to New Jersey, where you belong, not here. Why do you leave me all alone again? Now, who is my family now? What do I do? What do I do, Auntie Grace? Auntie Emma and Charlotte, they miss you so much. They always say, Hilda and I have nobody to drink at here. Because she's the only one who used to drink wine. And she'll be dancing and singing. Because after Auntie Grace, I joined this prayer group. Because I was so lonely. I had nobody to talk to. I'm always on my bed crying. What next? Do I pack my things and go back home? What am I doing here? The only family I had is gone. Auntie Grace, rest in peace. I can't even cry again. I can't believe it. Rest in peace. Auntie Emma and Charlotte all miss you so much. May God be with you. I know God needed you more than we do. Rest in peace till we meet again.
Wow. That is so touching. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, everybody needs somebody. A famous Nigerian actor once said, "You are avoiding me because of what they have told you about me." Or see, you are because of what they told you about me. But if I should tell you what they said about you, you will know that me and you are in the same boat. Everybody needs somebody. Auntie Hilda, I'm quite sure Auntie Grace is smiling. But she gotta go. It's time to go. At this point, it's a special tribute from her children, Jane and Terry. For those of you that worship with Terry, you know Terry. And Jane, I need two of you to come down here and pay that special tribute to Auntie Grace. It is tough, but when the going gets tough, it is the tough that keeps going.
Thank you. I'll have my sister who couldn't be here in UK. She's live on Zoom. So we'll give her a chance to speak. My older sister, Jane. Thank you.
And we are sorry for your loss. Terry.
Thank you. It's hard to start again today. Very hard. But just to add a little bit to what my sister has said, she's the oldest. I come right after her. A special mom is hard to find. You, Mama, we are keeping in our mind. We wished you could have stayed forever. And we will never forget you. Oh, not ever. If dreams were in dreams and dreams come true, we wouldn't be here. We would be with you. Distance is one thing that keeps us apart. But Mama, you will always remain in our hearts. A special smile, a special face, a special someone we can't replace. We love you, and we always will. You filled a space that no one will ever replace. My mom was full of life, a sense of humor, her laugh, her smiles, her jokes. Mama was very, very determined. She had one agenda. One agenda. And the funny thing is that to many people, they have different, jokes. One is all the way, many years ago, all the way to Chicago. Agenda. We say, hey, mommy, wait, I'm sorry for no be a friend, you're my friend, I'm sorry yet. I say, hey, I get it. Oh, my sorry. Bra, 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 bra. It was hard to see her go through what she went through in these past months. It was very difficult. But in the midst of all that, she would sing. She would call us to, Google some hymns, and she would say specific ones. And then she would call, she'd tell me to forward it to her. Unfortunately, when she was admitted at a university hospital because of the COVID, nobody was allowed by her bedside. But we're always together. So we'll sing hymns together. And there is this one particular hymn that I remember as a child, that almost every single day I would hear my mom sing. Can I please borrow you for a second? I don't know if it's on here. It says, rejoice, the Lord is King. Sissy, Google it for me, like she would say. Lift up your hearts, lift up your voice, lift up and say again, I say, rejoice, rejoice. Again I say, rejoice. I'll take the first stanza again. Rejoice, there is King, your Lord and King adored. With thanksgiving and triumph evermore. Lift up your voice, lift up your heart, rejoice again, I say, rejoice, rejoice again, I say, rejoice. This was when I was a little kid. Almost every day I would hear my mom sing this particular song. Before she joined us here in UWords, anytime I sing this hymn, memories of mom were flowing all over me. But today, Mama, and I made to rejoice. Maybe to me, I think to me coming home. Because it says, and I go quite practice, not only the one I say. How can I rejoice few months. After she takes shower, she will sit and then she will call me back, Mama, there you. Mama, there you. And then in her pain, she will start, she will burst out laughing. And I will start laughing. I was in there, how would I, Mama? I'm in the end, and the coin has turned. The coin has turned. People have called all around to introduce themselves and have no idea who they are. Right after I hang up the phone, I take the phone, forgetting that she's no more there, to call her and ask, who is this one? Because she'll be the one to tell me who this person is, how we are related, who this one is. There were a lot of people here from Obuas I didn't even know until she came. She connected me to all of them. Now I don't know who. Kasi dia singa mi faya gina nesi ne bopaya mawan sewana bopaya baba. I knew my mom was always praying for us. Always praying for us. So when I'm not able to pray, I know my mom was on her knees praying for us. But now who? Mama. If I was there, for all your sacrifices you've made for us, thank you. Jojo said thank you. So that was sick. More proud, right? What are we now? What I saw that was sick. What I saw that was sick. And more proud. Just say, what's that to Kumasa? My brother, to have this thing they do. Every day, every single day, he goes. And then he goes through the same routine with Mom. Kumasa, how are you? Oh, Mama, how can we move from here? I just wished to have lived a little longer. But I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. He gave us chance to have some fun with you, to create some good memories with you. And those memories live on. Thank you. Thank you. Omada wase. Kofi Blanche da wase. Ebo da wase. Jojo da wase. Mona da wase. Mona na no. Owa. Egina da wase mama. Kwa echa da ai. Chiam papa. Nyame fa wosie. Nyame fa wosie. Nyame fa wosie.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. At this point, I'm going to call the grandchildren. Mimi, Cece, Angel, Abby, and Jackie. I need all the grandkids to come down here to mourn the grandmother. A grandmother that raised them all right here. Who's the oldest?
Grandma, it truly doesn't feel real. I've never experienced such pain in my life before, but I'm sure it was nothing compared to what you were feeling these past few months. I find solace in the fact that you are at peace now. You're not in pain anymore, and that you're with God. However, we're still hurting down here. I'll always remember you as the optimistic, positive thinking, and most helpful person ever. I never got to say thank you for a lot of the things you did for us growing up. You moved from Ghana and came to America, left my uncles and aunties, and came here to take care of us. One of my oldest memories with you is you teaching me how to read and write. I don't know why, but that was such a struggle for me. Whenever Mom tried to help me, it never turned out good. She was low-key kind of mean with the way she taught, but you made things fun and make sense. You would cut up straws for us to use as counters, and you were just patient with my learning. You would protect me and Cece from getting whipped from Mom. If we did something wrong, you were the voice of reason. I remember one time, Cece and I were running from Mom, and we came and hid in your closet, telling you to please protect us. And when Mom came down to your room, you held her off and lied to her, saying that we weren't there. You were our safe space, although you definitely annoyed us with all the sending to get this or get that, or to get the remote, or to lotion your back. If there's one thing that I will do my absolute best to imitate is your hard work, determination, and love for others. As a child, it seemed like you were always packing containers to ship back home for Auntie's store. Even if no one helped you pack the container, you were doing it yourself. You sent money to your kids as well, which now that I think about it, I don't know where you got most of that money from. But you had it and you were always giving it. You were a woman on a mission. That's probably why everyone called you Agenda. You were always thinking of someone else before yourself. Your hard work showed even with the food you made. I remember the okra soup you'd make, my absolute fave. You took the time to chop up the okra. You didn't chop it up in the blender. And trust me, that time you took to chop it up by hand made it taste so much better. You were determined to build your house in Ghana. I remember you used to talk about that a lot on the phone. It even got to the point where you actually started working to make money to send home for your house. I didn't even know the house was completed until the day I saw you at the hospital. The house looks amazing. You did well. I can't wait to visit Ghana and see it. Grandma was a kind, caring, and loving soul. Everyone knew Grandma so much so that she was on the phone, always talking to someone. For someone that needed help learning how to use their phone, she sure knew how to talk on it. I remember she'd always ask me or Cece to put Ghana FM radio on it for her to, or take her to YouTube, or help her make a post on Facebook. My prayer to God, heard it, please. My prayer to God when we heard about your cancer was that we would get to spend time with you, if His will was to take you. That was my daily prayer until you came back home. Then I prayed for a miracle, but deep down, I knew it was already a miracle. We were seeing you. It was only a matter of time, but that time was well spent. And for that, I'm grateful. These memories will forever be with me. as this year has taught many of us to cherish the moments spent together with our loved ones. As much as I want to go back in time and relive these memories, I know I can't build a time machine. So until I see you again, I will forever cherish these moments we've shared together. Rest in perfect peace, Grandma. We love you.
This doesn't feel real. I don't know why, but I never thought I would be speaking of you in the past tense. For some reason, I imagined you living forever, or at least until we all had our kids and you were very old. You spent as much time with us that you could, and I'm grateful that God allowed us to see you before you left. Before you went to bed every night, you made sure to tell us that you loved us. And while I was standing next to you at the hospital, that was the only thing I said to you. And I would do anything to hear you say I love you too. Now that you're gone, I realize that's the little things I miss the most. I miss the birthday calls, and calling you on Thanksgiving, and hearing you yell pass on over and over again. I'll miss your cooking, especially your light sleep and joy fries. I'll miss the stories you would tell. I'll miss your laugh. I'll miss your voice, and most important, I'll miss you calling me Cece Bubbles. I didn't want to write this because in some way this would be my final words to you. And in all honesty, I don't want to believe that you're gone. But now that we're here, and I'm looking at you for the last time, the only thing I want to say to you is that I love you. And that you've done well, Grandma. Your house is amazing, but I'm sure your house in heaven is better. And we'll miss you. So this is goodbye until we meet again.
Thank you. Let's start song. Asempa baby man sing it uye. Asempa baby man sing it nyami yodo. Oh yeah, ampa. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The loss of a mother is always a special moment in the life of every person. No one can describe the feeling of realizing that you are no more. We knew this day will come. Never realized. On that Thursday, our greatest fear will materialize, but not too soon. We would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to you all for loving our mother and treating her like your own. Our mom was full of life, and when she was around, her presence I felt She was deeply kind, very thoughtful and present. Beautiful, lovely woman. I call her Swagger Lady. She was sexy and had a great sense of humor. Even on her sick bed, she was still cracking jokes. She wasn't just our mother, she was our friend. I used to call her Mami Ekua, and that's how my dad used to call her. Our mother was our prayer warrior. You sacrificed your love for us. When our father died, you refused to marry again just because of us. And we are so grateful. We used to eat together and it was fun. As you heard, she was a great cook and I learned from her. I'll miss her and cut some wine. We never waited to finish the food and share the fish or the meat. She was a typical fancy woman. She would just shout, "One zizi, one toto, one toto." Her presence will be felt forever, especially on our birthdays. My brothers and sisters wish they had one last hug in person. You will forever be remembered by your warm smile, love, your melodious voice. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And apart, them refugee. Mine kwe. Them refugee. Them ifawukra. And say yeah. Mine kwanta yamai. Mine kwa kama mingwari wechi. Ay mami ekwa. Them ifawukra siye. Continue to shape him. Amen.
Rest in peace, Graham.
Thank you so much, man.
I miss you so much. I miss hearing your voice. Seeing your face. I miss you. You really sing happy birthday to me every year. I miss holding your hand and praying for you.
Before, but I'm sure it wasn't too late to what I've been doing these past 2 months.
I miss you
I
so
find
much.
solace in the fact that you are at peace now. You're not in pain anymore, and that you're with God. However, we're still hurting down here. Also, for you as the optimistic, positive thinking, and most helpful person I've
Ladies and gentlemen, give the grandkids a big round of applause. This is so emotional and a very difficult time But we still have to go through it. At this point, I'm going to call the last person, being the grandson, the man that benefited from Auntie Grace. She gave him a wonderful wife, wonderful daughters. Mr. Osofo Quarshie.
Amen. Jerusalem, a man fufro, o man no ye, o amon to man, o debi, ye bishie na ye ni, ebrade betu, ale, debi ye bishie mo, debi. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, man, fufro, man, You know, so many times when we talk about mother-in-laws, there are certain things that comes into everybody's mind that are not frightening. I mean, some of them are not nice. But it's not because she's dead and laying down here that I'm saying this. I came into my mother-in-law's life about 26 years ago, when me and this beautiful lady fell in love. And my father-in-law was very strict, very, very strict. If anybody has watched Sound of Music before, you see how the man was strict? My father-in-law was strict than that man. I mean, having a girl in her final year in secondary school that have bedtime, Boise, that means that you are very strict. So I need to have an alliance. So I formed an alliance with my mother-in-law. And she took me as a son, not as a son-in-law. If the daughter will go anywhere, if the daughter is not at home, the mother knows where she is. The father doesn't know, but the mother knows where she is. And if the bedtime passed, she got to wait till she get home before my mother-in-law can sleep. Otherwise, the next day will be disaster. So you understand where I'm coming from. We had that bond even before she joined us here in the United States. She joined us here in 2004. And truth to be told, I was living closer to her more than her own daughter. My mother-in-law was hospitable. I will not come from work without my food being ready. I think this stomach here, she's part of it a little bit. And I made a law in my house that if you are in that house, on Wednesday and Friday and Sunday, you have to be at church. It wasn't including her, but before even I get ready, this was for my children, but before even we get ready, my mother-in-law was there waiting for us to come to church. When I was in Quarshie, we used to drink together. When she came here, I told her, Mom, now those days are gone. No alcohol in this house. And my mother-in-law respected that. From that very day, she never drank any alcohol or even anybody buying alcohol for her in the house. She respected me as as a son-in-law. We lived together for almost 9 years before she left to New Jersey. We never had a chance to even quarrel or to have argument. She was a wise woman. Anytime that I have any problem with Terry, she will never step in. She knows her boundaries. But at the end of the day, she will call me and advise me. And I think that was a wise woman. When we heard that she was sick, and my wife went over there, I went to visit. When we came here, we served an awesome God. A brother came to visit me and he said, Osofo, I want to ask you a question. When we have somebody who is sick in our family, we come and talk to you Osofo, in the house. So now that your mother-in-law was sick and your mother-in-law is dead, does that mean that God did not answer the prayers that you guys pray or what? I said, God is a wise God. And one thing that I know is that whatever God does is good. We had that time to spend with my mother-in-law. I mean, when I brought her here, quote unquote, we were giving time off at work because of Mr. COVID. We were giving time off at work. And I had never had that intimacy with my mother-in-law more than that 3-4 weeks that she was at the hospital. We had the chance to tell her how awesome she was. We had a chance to tell her what she has done for us and all the advices that she has given us. Not on her death day, but we had the chance. I know there are people that even their children don't even have the chance to tell them, Dad or Ma, I love you. But for us, we had the chance to tell her, and I think that was a good thing that God did for us as a family. Hallelujah. There was one day that I remember, I will say this and then I will say that. They came, the doctor came to a room. He said, I want to have a conversation with you, with your family. And he said, you have less than 2 weeks to go. Beginning, I didn't understand what she meant by 2 weeks to go. So I said, to go, said to spend with us less than 2 weeks. And I can see that sadness on the face of my mother-in-law. It became a funeral in that room. And when we were leaving, I had to call my dad to pray with us because I couldn't even pray with her. But the next day when we went into the room, I still have to behave as a mother-in-law, although she takes me as a son. So when we get there, I allow my wife to go in there to make sure that it's okay for me to come in. So my wife went in there and she asked my wife, where is Kofi? He said, she's right here. He's right here. So I went in and she took hold of my hand. She told my wife to bring her hand. And she lifted her eyes. And the song that she sang was, Erade metna wonchen. Oh, Erade metna wonchen. Apara damado nia wodo. Oh, namaye nia upe. Oh, Erade metna wonchen. Minyamye namado nia wodo. She's in heaven and she's smiling right now at us. That there's no more pain, there's no more drugs that they will give her. And she will ask that, why are you giving me so many medications? She's at a place that there are no sorrows, there are no pain. So although we are mourning you today, but we know that one day we will sit with you on Daddy's dinner table. But until then, you can say the year, man. You may follow currency, you may follow currency, they will use you. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, give Enoch a big round of applause.
I think that is so true for this family
I was
that you have
indeed a
created.
mother-in-law.
Your grandchildren will be the seeds that bloom the orchard that you have
I'm
planted.
going to have to give
We will create a legacy that makes you proud.
a few
All I
minutes
can
or so
express
for
how
him
grateful I am
to eulogize
and give
the
thanks
prayer
that
war.
the universe aligned
Before
our
he
lives
takes
with
to the
stories.
podium, if you are driving
Words can never
GMC
express how
30,
truly special
license
Grace
plate
Quarshie was to me.
APJ 400,
And although she is gone,
you please go out there
I
and
keep
give
her
her
alive
a
in my
before the
memories, for
police
I have
close
loved her
him.
every day.
The GMC
And now I will
30
miss you every
with the
day.
license plate
Goodbye and rest in
APJ,
peace.
J as in John, 400. Please go out there and move your car. For the time purpose, I'm going to ask everybody to make it as short as they can. Osafo Akwesi and Chipo Sinako. Please come on down. Give him a big round of applause.
Hallelujah. Can I have all Christ family members here with me? Christ family prayer line members. I want to sing this song for our mother. I'm so down, but the good news is that our mother is in heaven. She was a prayer addict. She was indeed a prayer addict. Monday morning, Monday evening, Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening. No wonder why all the members of Christ family were trooping into the house every blessed day. Anytime I mount the pulpit to preach as a leader of the group, I preach with her. She is screaming. So sometimes when I'm preaching and I don't hear her voice, I say, man, I'm down today, because the things she said, I used to say things like, sometimes I will preach and she would say, Chaso, Mr. Wasambawa. She was a mother to me. And we dedicated a time where the members will come for prayer requests and stuff like that. And every time she comes, a suffer, maybe some bomb time, a suffer, every day. So maybe the children don't know, she calls me father, but I also call her mother. So family, I'm also part of the family. That's my mother right there. I'm so down today, but the joy is that she is in heaven. Hallelujah. I want to sing this song. Jelu Salam